Mrs. Burke, have you ever encountered a weather hazard?
So many. I mean, you might know that my husband chases tornadoes, and I've gone with him on a few of his trips, which were terrifying. But today is not the day for talking about that. Today we're going to talk about wildfires. So I grew up in Woodland Park, and a long time ago in 2012, my family went through the Waldo Canyon fire. So it started, they didn't know how it started. It started as like a brush fire. They ended up finding out that someone started it intentionally. But what ended up happening is it burned and it burned and it went closer and closer to our house where we actually ended up getting evacuated. So this is a picture of like Denver, where we are. So we're in Golden right now, but where all of this happened is all the way close to Colorado Springs. But I grew up in Woodland Park. So basically you take this highway up through the mountains next to Pikes Peak, and then you'll get to Woodland Park. And so this fire was burning and it was blowing towards our house and we had to get evacuated. And then the wind changed, and thankfully our house did not burn. It got within a few miles of it, but then the wind changed and actually ended up sadly burning a bunch of houses in Colorado Springs. But what was interesting about that is that it actually, in a few years later, it actually led to a really, really big flash flood. So there were the same path that I just showed you a picture of was actually completely flooded. And so you might not initially think that those two are connected, but what ended up happening is because all of those roots couldn't hold all of the dirt together, the dirt was just washing away. And so instead of the water being absorbed into the soil like it normally would, because all of the vegetation had been burned the year before in 2012, in 2013, when that huge flash flood happened, there wasn't anything to hold the dirt together. And so all that water and all the dirt just flushed down. And what was crazy about that is that that's the same path that I drove every day, like growing up. And so my dad got stranded that night and he couldn't come home because the all of the water was like, it was like that for a really long time. So he had to stay with some friends, but then we saw him later. But it's always a fun time living in Colorado.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing story time, Mrs. Berg.
Yeah, I love story time. Next time, maybe I'll tell you about tornadoes.
Yeah, with the video. Okay, so shall we talk about the lesson now?
I think we can talk about the lesson.
It's just so crazy that a wildfire can also cause a flash flood. Like how those are connected
Yeah.
blows my mind.
And Colorado Springs had to spend a lot of money to make sure that there was mitigation work done. So they put in a bunch of signs on what to do for a flood.
So students, take note because you're going to be driving soon, which is scary for us, but also scary for you. So take note of that. All right. So one thing that's different today is that your exit ticket will be a Flipgrid video. It's different from last time that we had class instead of a Google form. So you don't be looking for a Google form, y'all. It's a Flipgrid video. And then your exit ticket is to respond to 2 peers with a glow and grow. And then the responses will have you use however much time that you need, at least by Friday at 10 a.m. But the Flipgrid video does need to be finished by the end of day today.
We hope you enjoy Earth Day. We're really excited for you guys to see our choice board and explore. Quick note on the choice board. If you guys finish early, you should set like a 30-minute timer. So a lot of the activities will take like 30 minutes. But if you do finish early, like if one takes like 10 minutes, you should keep doing another challenge. So this slide should take you 30 minutes. So if you use this timer, that's great. But if you want to use your own timer, that's also great.
And then we would love to take everything that you guys create, if you're doing art, if you're doing a video, if you have pictures, and we want to try to create a 6th grade Earth Day video to show in announcements. So just keep that in mind as you roll in those pictures and videos.
Yeah,
you guys are doing awesome. Keep up the great work.
Such good work. We miss you and love you.
Love you, not in a weird way.